Most investors don't underperform because they pick bad stocks. They underperform because they ignore where returns are coming from. In 2026, that distinction matters more than ever. Sector strategies help investors organize portfolios around parts of the economy like technology, healthcare, energy, and consumer discretionary, instead of relying only on individual stock selection. And the reason this works is simple. Not all sectors move the same way at the same time. Reason 1. Pursue alpha through tactical allocation. One of the biggest advantages of sector investing is the ability to actively tilt toward outperforming areas of the market. Over the past decade, sector return dispersion has been more than twice as wide as traditional style factors, like growth, value, or size. That matters because wider dispersion creates opportunity. When performance gaps between sectors widen, investors can overweight sectors with stronger momentum and underweight those sectors that are currently facing significant headwinds and potentially capture excess return, or alpha, versus the benchmark. In simple terms, the market gives more room for strategic positioning at the sector level than at the single stock level. Reason 2. Diversification and reduction of stock-specific risk. Stock picking is difficult not just because of market volatility, but because of idiosyncratic risk or risks tied to individual companies. And data supports this challenge. Over the past 20 years, 34% of stocks underperformed their sector average by more than 10%, while only 29% outperformed by more than 10%. That imbalance shows how hard it is to consistently pick winners. Sector investing helps reduce that risk by replacing single company bets with broad exposure to an entire industry. For example, instead of relying on one or two utilities companies tied to AI data center demand, you gain exposure to the entire utilities sector, including generation, transmission, and renewable producers benefiting from structural power demand growth. Reason 3. Reposition for business cycles and secular trends. The economy moves in cycles: expansion, peak, contraction, and recovery. Each phase impacts sectors differently. For example, in recovery phases, consumer discretionary often benefits as spending increases on travel, restaurants, and durable goods. In downturns, consumer staples tend to hold up better because demand is more stable and non-cyclical. Beyond cycles, there are also secular trends, long-term structural shifts. One major example is artificial intelligence. Since the launch of ChatGPT in late 2022, AI adoption has driven efficiency and revenue growth across large communication services and technology companies. Major platforms such as Alphabet, Meta, and Netflix have seen benefits from AI-driven content automation and personalized recommendation systems, and advertising optimization at scale. As a result, communication services ranked among the top sectors in earnings growth for multiple consecutive years from 2023 through 2025, and was one of the strongest performers versus the broader market during that period. This shows how sector leadership is often driven by long-term technological shifts, not just short-term cycles. Practical implementation: sector ETFs. For most investors, sector ETFs are the most efficient way to implement this strategy. They provide broad exposure to entire industries, lower single stock risk, and flexible tactical allocation without needing to pick individual winners. This allows both simple long-term positioning and more advanced rotation strategies based on macro trends. Sector investing isn't about predicting the future perfectly. It's about recognizing that different parts of the economy lead at different times. Risk is not evenly distributed across sectors, and opportunity often comes from positioning, not prediction. Because in investing, it's not just about what you own, it's about which part of the economy you chose to stand in.